Hello, my little recusants. Welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy 13. We've two really big cutscenes, so I'll chat to you later.
Saz?
But yeah, Saz's alive. Let's cut to a flashback.
Enough is enough. Why can't I do it? I got no reason to keep living. I can't even kill you.
Saz?
Freeze! Take him!
You should be proud. Your son's a hero. The boy who saved Cocoon. We'll erect a memorial in Eden and put his crystal on display.
A memorial? He's a little boy!
As the son of a pulseless sea, he would have lived in shame and misery. Isn't it better he be treated with reverence as a monument to sacrifice? The next time your eyes open will be the last.
I'm pathetic.
That's my line. I'm the one who lied to everyone.
Forget it. You can't change what's done.
But if I just told the truth...
Now. I've been thinking. You woke up from being a crystal once. Well, that means Dodge will wake up one day too, right? What was it like? I mean, how did it happen? You were done with your focus, right?
I was chosen. I was made into a lassie to fight against Cocoon. It happened back on Grand Pulse, hundreds of years ago. We finished our focus, and we fell into a long crystal sleep. Fang! we woke up on Cocoon to the start of a new focus. Fang, she'd forgotten everything. And for me, just the thought of hurting people again, it was too much. So I lied. I played dumb, said I'd lost my memory. I wanted to escape my fate as a lessee. And ever since then, I've been running away from it.
Let us through! Block our way, you die!
You trying to get him angry?
Yeah, I thought maybe they'd run. There's been enough blood spilled.
You thought they'd run? Let me refresh your memory. Those soldiers think they're protecting Cocoon from Lassie. The Fal'Cie have them all brainwashed.
Fal'Cie, I have had it. We cannot let this go on.
Attention all crew, code green, repeat, code green. Security forces stand by. Hostile forces on board, code green.
So there's lots to unpack there. The first is Psycom's crazy coding system. How is code green worse than code red? And yeah, so Saz is alive. We kind of knew that since he just unlocked his Eidolon and an extra ATB segment. So you know, gameplay wise, they spoiled us that they're not going to give us all these cool things if he wasn't going to be continuing in the story. We got to see Vanille awakening out of crystal stasis, and now the big issue is Vanille pretended to lose her memories the same as Fang because she didn't want to hurt people again. And she wants to escape the fate of being a lessee, and in her refusal to, respond to the call, Fal'Cie Anima created Sarah as a lessee and just kind of tried to spur them on in a direction, As for what's happening on screen, we got a bunch of incentive chips, and I am just buying things to make them all round numbers. Because just seeing the number 15 and 13 and 11 just annoy me. So we're just buying a few bits and bobs. Bought a tungsten bangle for just a little bit of a HP boost. Saves us having to upgrade loads. Just circling back again, because again, I don't like to talk over the cutscenes. But it's fascinating how Colonel Nabosh, the kind of female general with the stick, baton rather, so she basically said that, listen, Dodge being remembered in a memorial as the boy who saved Cocoon is a much better fate than being remembered as the son of a Pulse lessee. But just what's important here, you need to sell or use 39 sturdy bones to get a ×3 multiplier. And then passive detectors sell reasonably cheap, and only 10 of them gives you 6,500 at ×3 XP. Now, the Axis Blade takes a lot of the XP to level up to max. If we used that on the Blaze Fire, we would have been a lot quicker in leveling and getting a lot more leveling done. But I just really like the Axis Blade, so we're going to be using that one. But as is betraying the title of this video, here is a very good grinding spot, because all of the enemies in this little encounter can drop either credit or incentive chips. They deal a good amount of EXP for our characters to level, and they're really quick to reset, quicker than even the elevator, like the slugs in our earlier part of this series. And at the end of the day, I do enjoy an L grind. I maxed out the sphere grid in Final Fantasy X, if you haven't seen that. So I have the patience to just do the same thing over and over. And what's nice is that even if you can stockpile a bunch of Crystarium points, the game doesn't let you get too overpowered that the game ever becomes not challenging. And believe you me, to get all the achievements in this game, we're going to have to max out all the characters. So I can do that all off screen and not bore you. But just for people that are playing along, if you're playing along with this series, obviously I want to kind of have your journey through this game be as painless as possible. And I think one of the failings of this game is that they give you a great upgrade system and then really don't show you the importance of maximizing all those different accessories. Like, we have numerous iron bangles, we have like tons of accessories that I've not even looked at, and it's just a shame because when you get all the different characters and you actually can equip them and outfit them with their maxed out weapons, really good accessories that give good bonuses, like it can be really, really deadly. It can be really powerful. And so if I can give you guys a bit of a hint as to how to grind for money to make that upgrading dream possible, then I am more than happy to do so. Vanille's come clean. She has admitted that she's lied to everybody. That's a big character step for them. And Saz has forgiven her. And I suppose now Saz has a new lease on life, knowing that Vanille awoke from Crystal, so his son will awake too. And so, similar to Lightning and Snow, they're wanting to complete their focus to reunite with Sarah. And I suppose poor Hope just wants to, you know, not turn into a Seath. Fang doesn't want Vanille to turn into a Seath. And yeah, so that's kind of all those characters in terms of that. But it gives Saz a new like lease on life. Because as you saw in that cutscene as well, like Saz was brought to tears because he lost his son, he felt like he didn't have anything to live for, and his future was either eternity as a crystal or a monster. So he just was in this really hopeless situation, and then actually Vanille that's able to bring him out of that and show him that when you turn to crystal, you can turn back and there's life after, you know, crystal stasis. And it gives him that hope that he wants to journey on and journey forward. But as you can see here, once you run up the stairs from that other fight with all the ballerina robots, your soldiers are respawned, and you can move a bit further down the hall, fight another batch of soldiers, which is what I kind of cut out here. You can fight those soldiers, and then if you're not bothered with that other fight, all the different ballerinas and stuff, if you're like, no, I just want to maximize my chances of getting incentive chips, then you just run back and forth, fight those guys, fight the soldiers a bit further on, and you've a really good chance of getting incentive chips. And as I say, we're just going to pop back and sell those. Hop back, reset the enemies. You know, it's all really quick. A lot quicker when you're cutting out all the bits and pieces that you don't need to see. But it's not impossible to get credit chips, incentive chips, 2 credit chips. And ultimately, that is actually really how your EXP grind for materials is going to go. You're actually going to just be selling your incentive and credit chips, getting about 4,500 for those, like that quick little bit of grinding. And I'll just show you what that 4,500 can get you. So getting enough bones to make, you know, 40 or 39 to make your ×3 multiplier. And then you can hop back over to the artificial shop and buy some more artificial components to boost your equipment really far. Now I end up putting on a black belt just because I'm noticing these guns are doing a lot of damage, and Lightning, while having decent HP, like she's not that much less than Fang, but just I think getting an overall 10% reduction in damage is just better than the little boost, or not little, it's not little, but getting the boost in strength really. And as I say, in those couple of battles, we end up with like 2,000 EXP or Christenagem points. And Snow again is skyrocketing up in HP, like he just has so much. It's a bit unfair. But we've now maxed Sentinel. That's every node and ability obtained for ourselves. So we love that for us. And what's really funny is I end up going for Commando next. But like, if you're playing along, you know that Ravager is what builds up your stagger. And the levels of Ravager is what applies a better chain bonus when you're ravaging as a Ravager. So if your character has a special skill unique to them, like I always kind of go, Snow should go Sentinel first, and Hope should go Synergist first, and Vanille should go Saboteur first, or Medic first. But realistically, Ravager should always be a character's second run through the Crystarium, because odds are you're going to have people as Ravager, and you want them to be able to build up that stagger gauge as quickly as possible to get more 5 stars, to get better loot drops, to get better equipment drops. And as I say, you have the digital circuits there. And what's interesting is they don't give us much experience, but as you'll see, we still have a bonus of 2. So even though they didn't give us much experience per unit, they don't drop the experience multiplier as much. So that's another thing to kind of think about. But what's really funny is we went on this big loop, went through the like outside of the ship and ran along those winding corridors. At the end of this particular corridor, we can actually loop completely back to where we started this chapter when we were only on code red. And I'm kind of shuffling there trying to see if I can get a preemptive. And I didn't, but we are back up to 5 TP. We've like a bunch of CP points to spend. Because this is the thing, like 1 or 2 battles, you have up to 1,000 in the Crystarium. And I know I'm kind of hopping back and forward to here all the time, but, you know, it's, I just think, important to see what all these battles are building towards, you know? But, I mean, other than that, I think that's pretty much all the major things. Now, Vanille actually knowing what her focus is now obviously setting up another big confrontation. Because Final Fantasy 13 is nothing if not the party confronting each other on a near constant basis. Lightning and Snow are going to confront each other over who's rescuing Sarah, if Sarah's getting married, if she's going to become a Lassie. Hope and Snow have been on this constant will they won't they have their confrontation over Snow killing his mum. And now we had, like, for the longest time, this thread of Vanille and Saz. They're going to have this big confrontation. And now what it's even set up again is Vanille has lied to Fang in pretending she doesn't have her memories. So now Vanille is going to have that confrontation at some point in the future. Which is going to be like another lingering thread to keep us on our toes. But if you leave through this corridor, you're back at where we started this chapter. And really that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the story progression. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day. And thanks for tuning in with me. Bye bye.